Hey, once again, thank you for joining our webinar series for buyers and sellers. This one in particular is not relevant to just the state of North Carolina where we are, but it's relevant to where you're coming from as well as where you may be going. So, this webinar is, again, it's a part of our series of how to plan and execute a successful retirement relocation to the state of North Carolina. Again, this webinar is not necessarily all about North Carolina. It's about making confident decisions in your timing of your life for where your next move is going to be. Hopefully it's North Carolina, but if it's not, hopefully we're going to give you some great tools and some tips and some insight as to how to make that decision confidently. So again, thank you for joining us. We are hosting a webinar every month, one for buyers, one for sellers. This one in particular is important for both buyers and sellers. So for all of you that are joining, this webinar is recorded such that you can go back onto our website, creekmorerealtygroup.com, go see our past webinars, and they're also on our YouTube. So thank you, everybody, for joining. So again, this webinar is to give you a guide to evaluating timing, market signals, and personal readiness when you're considering selling your home and where your next move is going to be. Market indicators are important, but your timing in your life is the most important thing. So we're just trying to advocate for that to help you reduce stress and help you make the right decision for what's right for you. We are recording this, so again, this will be on our websites. At the end of the webinar, you'll have all the links for our websites, but we clearly have your email. That's how you registered. So we will be sending an email after to recap of this webinar. So I am Chris Creekmore. I've been in the business for 3 decades now. We specialize, and my team, who is a panelist, part of my team, who's a panelist on this webinar with me tonight, we all specialize in active adult communities here at the coast of North Carolina, but we also have extensive experience with beach property, investment property as well. I am a native North Carolinian. I am from a long history of military family, so I was born in Okinawa, attended NC State. Although I didn't graduate from there, I got into life business right away. I have been doing this for a long time. I've been with EXP for a little over 5 years, but I've been a partner agent with 55 Places, Platinum Club. Just all this stuff just means that I've done a lot of transactions. And I say that because my team that's with me tonight, those that are with me tonight, we all have lots and lots of experience. So I am also joined by Diana Johns. Diana Johns is number one of our most preferred lenders for the team. Extremely knowledgeable, extremely accessible, extremely forward thinking for you. It's not about what product she has, but what product she has that her lending institution has that is right for you as the client. So Diana, thank you for joining us, and please say hello to our attendees.
Well, thank you for having me tonight. I'm really looking forward to this. I've been in the industry. This is my 20th year, and I'm always trying to find creative ways to help your customers and help get them to the closing table.
I have not once, nobody on my team has ever had once, and this Diana Johns, she's not for me. Get me another lender. Not once has that happened. So thank you for joining us. We're going to lean on you in this webinar. So again, this webinar is to help you make a prepared decision. Because we know interest rates are going to go up, interest rates are going to go down. People are going to react to headlines, but the decision should be guided by your life priorities, your preparation, and your confidence in moving forward or not moving forward, not by the pressures of short-term predictions. So we want you to feel comfortable and less stressed in what you're going to do. So we developed what we call the Smart Move Matrix. And the Smart Move Matrix, we're happy to share all of this with everybody that's attended. So the Smart Move Matrix kind of works like this. Are you personally ready? That's number one. Then, is my financial foundation in place? We're going to give you tools and checklists and things to use for all of these parts of the matrix. Do I understand my market, where I'm at now, versus my market and where I'm going? So some things to think about in timing, and what are the trade-offs? What's my risk? What's my gain? Things to think about for the logistics of it. All right, now I potentially have 2 houses to sell, or I only have 1 house to sell, or I don't need to sell a house to buy a house. But we're going to talk a little bit about the logistics. How do you cover risk? Should there be some risk? And also, who's your support team? And how do they help you? Such that you can say, green light, I'm go. Wait, no, I still got some prepared. I got to prepare more, or not ready yet. I'm on a holding pattern. We're okay with all of that. Just so you know, our team is okay with all of that. We want to help you in whatever stage you're at. So we've developed like a decision scorecard. And again, all this is going to be provided for you after the webinar tomorrow, quite honestly, to help you gauge where you're at in the process. If anybody's been on my website, Creekmore Realty Group, or my YouTube channel at Creekmore Realty Group, I have a martini method that we follow by, where the martini glass is the area, the vodka, the cocktail, that's the community or the neighborhood, and the olive in the bottom of the glass is the last part of the glass, or the bottom of the glass, the last thing that we get to. We want to follow a process that's comfortable with you, making sure we're checking the right boxes first, not doing an inverted martini where, well, I'm just going to eat the olive. So good choices happen when lifestyle, finances, markets, and logistics match with reality and expectations. That's what we want to help guide you through. So we've got a checklist. I'm going to kind of move through this part because we're going to provide this checklist for you, such that, okay, are we ready as a household to move forward? Can we move forward comfortably? Is our finances in order? What's going on in both markets? So we want to understand that, and that's key for negotiating not only the house that you're selling, but the house that you're buying. So in timing, what are you giving up? What are you gaining? Logistics, how will you handle 2 homes? Should you need to handle 2 homes? You may not need to. In terms of risk management, what are the things, what do I do? What should I be thinking about if things don't go absolutely perfect for me? And your support team. Do I have the right team? Now, of course, we're all realtors, so we're going to say the number 1 person you need to have in your support team is going to be a realtor, but you may not be ready for that. I get it. But anyhow, you want to make sure your right team is assembled. Oops. So, all right. So let's start with the matrix. Before I get into the personal readiness, in the if you hover towards the bottom of your screen, should pop up a toolbar, and in that toolbar should be a Q&A. If you have a question at any point in time, feel free to drop a question in there. I can see them, and then we can answer any question that you may have. So in terms of personal readiness, we as a household, is my reason to move, this is just one question. There's more questions, but the overwhelming question is my reason to move stronger than my reason to stay? Do I know where I'm going to move to? When we get our phone call and somebody says, I'm interested in listing my house, we certainly want to ask them and guide them first. Okay, great. Where are you going to? I got that covered. Great. Let's move forward. So it's an important question. So a lot of people move, especially to the coast of North Carolina, but a lot of people move because snow, don't like it. It's not good for their health, not good for their knees, not good for their joints. So it may be a health situation. And we're saying this again to help you gauge, think proactively. Do I need to move? Why am I moving? Some people move because of downsizing. Got a house that they've had 5 kids, 3 kids. They raised them in that house. Oof, I got a bunch of stuff in that house. I need to downsize. I need to purge. Some people move because they want to be closer to family. If anybody is leaving North Carolina, that's typically why they're leaving North Carolina. And lifestyle preferences. I mean, think about it. We got beaches. We got good weather. We've got low property taxes, and we got golf, and all that stuff. So wherever you're moving, be it Arizona or be it North Carolina, think about what's important to you for your lifestyle. So on your financial readiness assessment and getting prepared for that, and this is a part of assembling your team. So where is your equity position? And we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But your best source for knowing and understanding your equity position is going to be a realtor. Hands down, is going to be your realtor. Now, you need to know what tax implications, capital gains, things that you need to know about when you sell your house. We are realtors. We're professional realtors. We are not financial advisors. You need to have assembled in your team either a financial advisor or a CPA or somebody that you really trust in the family that knows this in and out. Relocation costs. Have you added them up? Are you comfortable with it? Am I okay with that? And then budget. Have you walked through your budget? What does it cost me to live here versus what does it cost me to live there? We're going to talk a little bit more about that and give you tools for that. So we're moving into step 2 now, financial foundation. So matrix 1, am I ready to make a move? Do I think I'm mentally ready there or not yet? So now in financial foundation, do I need to sell the current home in order to buy the next home? That's the number one question, first and foremost. If you need to sell your home where you're at now, that does not mean you do not need to take the time to go to where you're going to check that box to make sure you know where you're going. What mortgage options are best for me? Diana Johns will be answering quite a bit on that. And what is my cost for living where I'm at now versus my cost of living where I'm going to? So here's just a little check guide to help you with that. Okay, my taxes, are they higher or lower than where I'm going? My mortgage payment, if I have a mortgage payment, will be higher or lower? If it's higher, am I okay with that? Am I gaining something by having a mortgage payment because I'm in a newer house? Whatever. Homeowners insurance, what does it cost here versus there? Just basically so you assess the total financial picture of what it is that you are moving into or leaving. Maintenance and repair, does the house need it? If it's new construction, it won't for several years. Flood insurance or wind and hail. Your realtor in the state of North Carolina will advise you 100% on whether or not flood insurance is necessary. Wind and hail, everybody's got to have it. Or I recommend everybody has it. You don't have to. If you pay cash for your house, You don't have to, although you'll never hear me saying you don't have, shouldn't get it. What is the utility cost here versus the utility cost there? Just a thing that a checklist tool to think about as you're making a comfortable, confident decision moving forward. Equity is the home value minus whatever mortgage payment you have. Net equity or net proceeds are, and we just simply a simple formula. I'm sure you guys are all brilliant. You understand this, but just the closing costs, you need to talk to your agent. What are going to be my closing costs? Just calculate the decision, the commission costs. What are the HOA? A lot of times there's transfer fees and proration of taxes and HOA fees. Your realtor that is helping you sell the house that you're in should do what we call a net sheet so that you know what you will get net when you sell your house. So, Diana, we are talking about comparing loan options. If I am going to purchase a house in the new location, certainly if I'm paying cash, cash is king, although there are certainly some advantages to not depleting all your cash from the transfer from the sale of your house. But that being aside, a contingency, and let's make this very clear, because somebody says to us, I'm going to pay cash. Okay, well, where's that cash coming from? Well, it's coming from the sale of my house. That's not cash. That is a contingency that will be cash. But the seller is hearing contingency. It's not true cash yet. I just need you to understand that. Contingencies, certainly a lot of buyers won't have, or sellers won't be as, jumping up and down when they hear contingency. So it does have some limitations there. Jeanette, yes, what would you like to add to that? You need to
Nothing. I did that by accident. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Diana, talk to us a little bit about bridge loans, HELOCs, carrying two mortgages, and a HECM. I know you don't do HECMs, but just what would you like to add to this slide?
Well, I mean, I always encourage any of the realtors that I work with to please ask them just to give me a call, regardless of who they're going to end up with, whether they end up choosing to go with my company or another company. I at least want to give them some advice. There's a lot of options out there. If they're getting ready to list their current home and they've already been looking at other homes, and the house may not sell right away. So, I mean, we have a bridge loan option. The bridge loan option, I mean, it's costly. It's a short-term cost. The interest rates are a little bit higher because you're basically taking the equity from your current home because it's not selling, and you're moving ahead and buying your new home without having to wait until that home sells. But I mean, there's costs associated with that, and they're a little bit on the
So
higher side.
why would I do what would be a good application for using a bridge loan?
What do you mean an application?
All right, so I'll answer the question and you echo onto it. So
Okay.
typically somebody would use a bridge loan if there is a house on the market in the neighborhood that they really want to be on. There's limited inventory there, and it's just the perfect house.
Yes.
But I'm not ready to sell my house yet, so I'm going to bridge the loan to buy the house that won't be on the market for 3 days, more than 3 days, such that I don't lose that opportunity. That's typically why somebody would do a bridge loan.
Yeah, correct. I mean, if you've already been looking and you found that perfect house, that's really what you want, and your home, basically is getting ready to go on the market, and but you're needing to go ahead and move. I mean, then that would be the the bridge loan option to take if you must have the funds from right away, from basically that gap. If you have a little bit of time, you're just currently shopping, okay? Or you're kind of looking, you're still trying to make some decisions. You will eventually need to list your house. You may want to free up some funds if you have equity in your home and already put a HELOC, which is an equity line, in place to where you could use that as your down payment moving forward into the new home without having to worry about having funds for down payments on the next house, or
So
having to worry about your house being on the market. I mean, normally, Chris, you can answer that. I mean, average home on the market right now in our market, you know,
we're days on market.
yeah, days on market right now.
Right now we're about 67 is our average.
67 days on the market. Okay. So, I mean, if you've already got that in place, various different areas of the country, obviously, their homes are not selling as quickly. So, obviously, they would have to get some advice as to what a realtor in that market would think is, how long do you think it's going to take for my house to sell? So, but making preparations, and that's what this call is about, is preparing. Are we ready to move now? Will we need to get a bridge loan? Will we be able to carry two mortgages possibly for a period of time? Do we have enough down payment? But any of those people, I mean, that are looking into possibly moving into this market, they can call me. We can look at some options for them.
So we're in the step 2 of the matrix, which is
Right.
about financial security in making the move.
Correct.
We're past, I'm mentally ready. Now I'm trying to get into the financial security. Do I have that in place? So if I am talking to a client and we said, okay, well, let's talk with a lender, and that lender is you. Is there any cost associated for them to pick up the phone and talk to you and see what their best options are?
There is no cost associated whatsoever.
Exactly. So I'm trying to get past step 2 and get into more of understanding the market here and there. I highly encourage everybody who's on this panel, pick up the phone, call Diana Johns. She will. These are just the basic options that are available to you. Because I can assure you, from the years that I've known Diana Johns, she's got more tools in her tool belt than what is on this slide right here.
Just a conversation, because everybody's scenario is different, but I can guide them in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So let's talk about market reality. Okay. So what is the speed of sales of the home where I'm at now versus the speed of the homes where I'm going? Because ultimately what we're trying to help our clients with, everybody who's watching this webinar, is how to be comfortable and confident with making the move. And in order to be comfortable and confident, then you would need to know the market reality of where you're going and where you're going to. So Debbie, great question. I'll either text it to you or it'll be at the end of the slide. Will be Diana Johns' phone number and all her contact information. So when you're talking with your realtor, where you're at and where you're going, you want to know, is the volume going up or down versus last year versus this year? Because basically, ultimately, what you're trying to figure out is, are you in a seller's market or a buyer's market? Or are you in between? That's really what you're wanting to know and understand. Now, here at the coast of North Carolina, we pretty much cover 3 counties. The bulk of what we do is in Brunswick County, right over here, but we also cover New Hanover County and Pender County. So on our website, which is slow to load, on our website, Creekmore Realty Group, if you want this map is available right here where you can download this map. But ultimately, again, you want to talk to your realtor so that you can gauge where are you in the market. So we're going to talk about another tool for that. Okay, that's called absorption rate. So the absorption rate helps you calculate how quick are homes in my neighborhood selling. So very popular neighborhood in our community or in our areas is St. James. So we just ran some numbers for St. James. So absorption rate is calculating the number of homes sold in a period of time versus all the number of homes in that particular area that are available on the market. So in St. James, 109 homes sold in the last 6 months, 81 active listings at the current time. So if you do this mathematically, taking this formula, number of homes sold in a period of time, the absorption rate is 22.4%. This is high. So a high absorption rate means you're in a seller's market. I'm going to give you a kind of graph for that. But whoever your agent is that's helping you sell your house, ask them, what can I plan on days on the market, and how does that compare to the absorption rate? So when you're looking at days on market, and any realtor worth of salt is going to compare average and median. So on median, you want to know, is my house better than these other houses, or is my house not as good as these other houses? So that you can make a very calculated price adjustment on listing your house based on days on market, where are you in median, and also absorption rate. So basically, if your absorption rate calculates up to higher than 20%, you're in a seller's market. You're still in a seller's market. You're in a high seller's market if you're at 20%. So 15%, you're in a strong seller's market. 10 to 15%, you're in a median balanced market. Below 10%, you are in a buyer's market. Okay. So know where you're at. Your agent should be able to calculate. If they can't calculate it, you have them call us. We'll calculate it for you. So things to think about in the market is how does new construction factor in not only where you're at and also where you're going. So new construction builders are often offering buy down rates, closing credits, and upgrading packages. So just be aware of that. If you're selling your house that you've been in for 15 years, you may be competing with that. If you're buying into an area where there's lots of new construction, hey, I may be able to get some builder incentives. So know that the builders and the individual owners could be at competition. So the advantages of an existing versus a new construction. So if you are asking us to list your house, we are going to advocate all day long the fact that you're in an established neighborhood, that you're a ready to move in house, that there's no construction delays, there's no hammers next door to you all day long. Typically, this house is move-in ready, blinds and appliances and all that. Known community dynamics. I know my house to the left. I know my house to the right. My amenity center is already built. Sellers, individual owners tend to be a little bit more flexible with builders, unless you're in an area where you've got a lot of building construction going on. Builders are competing with each other as well. Just I'll skip this, just real quick. Just know that here in Brunswick County, we do have quite a bit of new construction in Brunswick County. So now we're into step 4. Okay. So I'm trying to be prepared and mentally ready through the phase of making a move. So let's talk about timing and trade-offs associated to that. So we want to have a smooth move out, smooth move in. But because of timing, there could be some lost opportunity, which is why a bridge loan may come into play or some other things to consider. So, waiting for lower interest rates. Diana's going to talk about this in just a second. You could wait for more inventory. Tell you, inventory's great here. And so the net effect, lower rates don't guarantee better selling conditions. In fact, Diana's going to, I know she's going to jump on this because
I am.
lower interest rates do actually create a competitive market. Let's just skip to that. So here we are in the interest rates and what's projected. So we were talking just before this webinar started and about the season of buying.
Can I jump in for a minute?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So basically, I just want to make sure everybody knows that today, the rates are the lowest they have been since September of 2022.
Wow.
Okay, so I mean, we were up above 7s, almost reaching 8, and we're right at 6% right now. And I just feel that, a lot of people have been out there waiting for rates to drop to make a move. Okay. What typically happens when people do that, okay, rates drop, you're going to have greater competition out there when it comes to buying a home. It's going to increase the prices on homes again because you're going to be basically the rates when rates decline, typically in the market, you will see a higher buyer demand. Okay, so there's going to be a price war again. You're going to have multiple offers coming in. So why are people waiting at this point? I mean, right now is the time to buy. If you're going to make a move, make it now. Don't wait for rates to come down a little bit. First of all, you're missing out on this appreciation. You can gain appreciation today by buying today.
So not only buying, but selling.
Exactly.
Because more people are coming into the market.
Yes.
So now, days on market in some of for our northern clients, boy, they're still getting multiple offers on homes over there, 20 some offers on one house. So when you have interest rates at where they're out and such a pent up demand, Karen, who's on my team, we were talking earlier today about the pent up demand who people have been waiting, the time to wait. If your main motivation for waiting, again, this whole webinar is not just, getting, the rates and, what you hear on the news to be your main factor. But if that's what you've been waiting for, Diana and Karen, you're absolutely right. Take that dynamic out because you're now at the perfect timing for doing that.
The timing is today. The timing is perfect right now. If rates do continue to come back down, I mean, they're not going to come down drastically. I feel that they will probably level out. They're still going to stay in the 5s, upper 5s possible. But I mean, rates are coming down. There's a lot of shoppers out there. I have been so swamped the last few days. But I'm also seeing multiple offers.
Yeah, we're
people yeah, people are missing out. They have just fallen in love with this house. They're upset.
So,
Because,
interest rates are at a healthy place right now. Derek,
yes, they are.
you had something you wanted to add.
Yes. So what they say, you date the rate and marry the house, the home, right? Now, and like you just mentioned, that if you're on the fence about a perfect home, like this is your number one home, if you mess around, you're going to lose that home. Why would you pick your seventh best home where you could get your number one home? Is that right?
Right. Right.
So you have to be proactive as a buyer, and Karen, Jeanette, they can all vouch for it. You got to be in the game to win it.
So dating the rate, just so that everybody on this watching this webinar understands what we mean by dating the rate, means that you can always refinance your house later on. Okay. So just because your rate today is 6.25, doesn't mean that you have to stick with that for the lifetime. So absolutely correct. Want to share with you just, and we get to another slide. We'll piece all this together. Homes are increasing, but they're not increasing in value like they did during the pandemic. That was crazy stuff. That was absolutely crazy stuff. So we're more at a nice, steady, healthy growth rate. So in the state of North Carolina, we're right at 2% on average for the entire state of North Carolina. Now, different communities will be either higher or lower than that, but in general, that's where we're at in North Carolina. The home prices, again, are just, this is a national average. This is just the national forecast, but in the state of North Carolina, we're around 2%. So here's the net. Lower rates, more homes on the market, slow price growth, better affordability. That's where we're at. That's our picture today. So again, if we don't have mental readiness, we don't have financial security in terms of being able to be proactive, and we don't have an understanding of the market, where I'm going and where I'm going to, timing is not going to come into play unless I've got those other three dynamics covered. So let's talk a little bit about logistics strategy. If you had to sell a house, this is just one part of the logistics. If you had to sell a house in order to buy a house, or you're going to cover two mortgages. So let's just briefly talk about that. So in terms of the logistics of it, cash is king, fast. Boom. You're in the best position to make an offer. Somebody's buying your house, they're paying cash. Again, qualifying, where's the cash coming from? Contingency, cash is not a contingency. So a contingent sale is certainly slower. Okay. But a bridge loan, Diana, a bridge loan and a HELOC and two mortgages. So in terms of the logistics and managing the move, if I was to do a cover of two mortgages, so the logistics of that is hopefully I only have to cover the mortgage for 1 month or 2 months while my other house is selling, versus I'm going to cover that mortgage for 6 months or a year. So in terms of the best option for you, the panelists, people who are not the panelists, the people who are watching this webinar, there's not one of these that's the best. It's the best for you. And this is why I would have you call Diana Johns, because she will help you figure that part out. So what would you like to say to that, Diana?
Well, I just, like I said, everyone's scenario is different, and like I said, I'm available. They can call me evenings, they can call me weekends. Be more than happy to discuss some options for them. And we'll figure it out. We'll figure out the best options for them. Not everyone is in the same boat.
So, Debbie, who's on this webinar, watching this webinar, I'm pretty sure, Debbie, you and I have talked about a HECM. Just for people who are watching this webinar, a HECM is a lending program for people who are 62 or older. And yeah, for people who are 62 or older. So we can get into greater detail about that later on. Jeanette, did you have something to add?
I did, and while have the slide back up, I closed on a house today, and they used a bridge loan, and I could say that the criteria that you're going over tonight just perfectly fit for them, the timing and personal readiness. They did not want to miss out on a house, and they were able to pay the extra for the bridge loan. And now what happened with them was they could not get their house that they need to sell, they could not get it ready in time to not miss out on the house that they wanted, loved, and so it worked out for them. The bridge loan, I mean, there's so many. So what you're saying is true for everyone's particular situation when it comes to funding to buy the house. If you don't have the cash, there's so many different things here or options. So, and I think sometimes buyers maybe aren't made aware of that. But for these folks, and what we were talking about after they closed today was how to move furniture from one house to the other. And there's plenty of furniture in the house they're moving out of to leave it staged nicely to sell when they're ready to sell that. I mean, it was just one of these perfect scenarios for them because of the bridge loan.
So, and bridge loans are becoming more popular now. In fact, Diana, your institution was not offering bridge loans until recently. Is that correct?
Well, we had a broker option, but we are getting an in-house one, and we should have the details out within a matter of days now.
And I mean, Diane, you can correct me, but on with the lender they use, something about the bridge loan, you do not have escrow accounts set up.
That's correct.
Your monthly payments are not overwhelming, I guess
You're
is the
paying
way to
interest
say that.
only on that house that you are purchasing.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah. So again, it's part of the trade-offs, and you have to, assess yourself in terms of, can I afford the trade-off, whatever that trade-off is? So let's talk a little bit about risk. What if something goes wrong? The number one thing I will tell everybody who is watching this webinar from past experience, do not have the mover show up on the doorstep of what you're buying on the same day that you're closing. That's just, I've had too many stressful situations. I used to have a lot of hair, and I have less hair because of that. So please don't do that. All right, so I'm going to kind of skim through this because you who are watching this webinar, you're going to get this entire slide deck, and you're also going to get these PDFs that will help you to assess your risk in terms of the financial. Do I have a financial buffer? Stress test, calculating the numbers. Can I afford some overlapping payments? Flexibility, financing flexibility. What options are available to me? Insure against loss, homeowners insurance. Make sure you still have all that in play. What is my plan B? For protecting yourself contractually, for going through your due diligence and your due diligence repairs, when you're buying something else and also selling something else. Prepare early, getting your inspections done. Time buffers, like don't have the mover show up on the same day. Don't do that. Set decision rules. So this is my ceiling. I'm not going over that. But this bright, shiny object is just a little bit more. Nope. I've already talked to my financial advisor. I've talked to Diana Johns. I know where my threshold is. So if you have a good realtor, your good realtor will try and help you stay in that level. And align yourself with the right team and the right team early. So here's a little checklist that goes through those things. We're going to email all of that to you at the end, your support team. So this is the last part of your matrix, okay? So who is in your corner, and do I have both corners covered, okay? So do I have the A team? So in your support team, you're a broker. I'm just going to tell you, don't do a for sale by owner because you're going to leave money on the table. Statistically, that's what will happen. But you need somebody that will help you assemble the A team, your mortgage lender, your closing attorneys, help you navigate what the HOA payments are here and there, help you because a good realtor has their A team of inspectors, of insurance agents, of lenders, Diana Johns, help you with putting your moving company here and there, financial advisors. We've got tons of those that we work with as well. And your trade services for getting my house ready to sell versus also I'm buying a house that maybe needs some work after I move into it. So that's your A team. All right. And here's a checklist. So to give you a little bit more, here's one thing that a lot of people are not aware of. Senior move manager. What is a senior move manager? Did you know that there is an organization of senior move managers that's here in your transition professionals? These are people who are in the business of helping you purge your house, get your house ready to get it prepared to list it, help you stage it, and also help you unpack or where you're going. So look it up. Just Google senior move managers or association of senior move managers. You'll see who's in your area. So here's a list of just, a deeper dive on trades, plumbers, electricians, all that. So anyhow, we've covered quite a bit on the matrix. And again, we're going to share this with you. We are so happy, all of you that have joined this webinar. Again, this webinar is going to be recorded. But for those of you that are on this webinar, if you have an additional question, I know, Debbie, I owe you an answer, which I'm getting to in just a second. But if anybody else has a question, please don't hesitate. On my team, we've got several on my team, but on the panel right now is Karen and Derek and Jeanette. So does anybody got a question?
Hey, Chris, Jim's in the queue for a question. What are your thoughts on seller's shield?
Oh, on seller's shield in terms of the deed, in terms of the shield on your deed. In fact, let me open your mic so I understand what you're asking me, Jim. Get it. So make sure you get a reputable source for a seller shield. I was in a meeting the other day with a bunch of realtors, and in our roundtable, we were talking about fraud. And the guy that I know was telling me how the money was getting ready to be transferred. The deal was done. Contracts were signed. The attorneys have checked, we're getting ready to record the deed. And then the seller had a pop-up alert that said, well, your deed is about to be recorded. And that seller said, whoa, 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 called the real estate firm or the community is who he called and said, well, wait, what's going on here? We are in, well, we've always been in a nefarious world, but now we're in a cyber nefarious world. So, Jim, through EXP, we are our brokerage, EXP, however I reach this, we have one available for our clients. I'll email you later on to let you know what some other options are. But absolutely, I would highly encourage you to get a seller shield to protect any alert from somebody spamming on your deed. Great question. Does anybody else have a question? So to Debbie's question, Diana Johns, diana.johns@primisbank.com, and 910. So Debbie, if you want to snap a photo of that, but I will be emailing this to you. Diana, any additional thoughts?
Again, like I said in the earlier, I mean, right now is a good time to buy. Rates are still going to be declining. I think we're going to be in a very competitive market coming up. Spring market is coming. I'm already seeing some of it. So if anybody is ready to move, right now is the time.
Excellent. So we are Creekmore Realty Group. We are at the coast of North Carolina. We are on social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We do a lot of YouTube video, a lot of YouTube training, a lot of tips for both buyers and sellers. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Creekmore Realty Group. Instagram, certainly. You can find us on our nccoastallivinghomes.com. That is our search site. So that is our site that is more for doing home search, and Creekmore Realty Group, the last kind of went away from me too quick. So Creekmore Realty Group, you can learn more about us, and our team is on there.
And I want to say the Creekmore team is fantastic.
Thank you for that plug. So again, this webinar is recorded. You can find it on our website. For everybody on the panel, thank you for joining and adding to it. Everybody that's watching this webinar, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Please reach out to us anytime.